guys just kind of attacking this break in the schedule in the last couple of days of practices? Look at this break doing for you guys.
Today was good just to get up and down, just run, get some competition in, guys are getting competitive, talking junk. I think it's good to have days like this because it makes it about us. So many times during the season, you got back-to-backs, 4 or 5 days. So you're usually worried about the next game. And like there's a quick turnaround to games. You don't really get to analyze what went good and bad because you got the next one coming up. So I think it's good to have this opportunity to like really just hone in on things we can get better at. And during that 5-game stretch, things that we really did well, and so forth.
Just like people probably don't realize that you get a lot of practice time in breaks like this over the course of the season. So when you do get something like this, is it a chance to really like just install new things or really just reinforce what you're doing second?
I think it's a little bit of both. It depends on where you are during this time of year. I think for us, it's just sharpening our tools. You know what I mean? Like at this point in time where we are in this season, it's not where we want to be. But I think the last 5 games, we've proven the team that we want to be and have shown how to carry that out. And now going forward, it's just about making sure we do that on a consistently nightly basis and sticking to it.
You're on the floor for a lot of the end of the game the other night. You enjoy that fourth quarter? Is that something you aspire to be, is always on the floor at crunch time?
I mean, I want to compete. I want to help the team win. So if that means me being on the floor, most definitely, you know, every player, I would say, dreams about being on the floor in crunch time, helping the team, contributing. Where I've been in my career, I've wanted moments like that. So I'm definitely going to be proud and just grateful for how far I've come and the fact that my coaches trust me and my team trusts me to be out there as well.
You talked about finding that identity. Like, how difficult was it to get to that point through the first 20 games or so, just searching for that?
I mean, it's just a willingness, I would say, from 1 through 15. And it just had to be that at the same collective time. I think at times guys have shown to be more willing to do what it takes to win. And that's whether that's defensively, whether that's playing as a unit, making the right play. And now I think we're doing that. Now I think, especially in the last 5 games, a little slippage in the last game, which is why you can see the results out of it. You know, in the 4 that we did, we won, and we won handedly. And the one that we lost, we kind of had some slippage, and that it shows. And I think it just tells us also our room for error, and how tight that window is for us.
Is it comfortable feeling like you found a formula where sometimes probably earlier in the year maybe didn't know what the formula was?
It's yes, but to that question, like it's difficult because last year you could say we found the formula and we were in a way better position. You know what I mean? So I think yes and no. It's just kind of what you do with it. Everything is what you make it, and I'm a firm believer of that. And I think we've made it tougher on ourselves at times. And now that we've stopped fighting the game, as like comments that you probably heard from all of us at different point in times, now that we've stopped, we've been able to get to a point where we're seeing it crescendo in our favor.
How does everybody kind of handle maybe a little bit of a fluctuation? Like, it might depend on who's going good on a given night, matches whoever, like 26 minutes, 18, whatever, like bouncing around. Like, how do you handle that as a player when I know guys like routine so much, and when you're coming in and out of those?
Honestly, you gotta control what you can, you know what I mean? And respectfully, everyone has to understand. There's only, 30 teams, 2 guys per team, so 60 players that are gonna, maybe 90 that are gonna see their consistent nights. And if it's not consistent, they're playing more. So I think everyone's just gotta like own in on your role and understand what it takes, and if you want to play, you got to affect winning. For me, that's what I've learned. Like, just the best way to make sure I'm out there is how do I affect the team in a positive way. And that's one of the things that I've been hanging my hat on. Whether I leave the game with 20, 15, 30, however many odd minutes I would play, is did I affect winning? Does that show? Did I make the right plays? Am I playing basketball the right way? And I trust that when you do things like that, it'll turn back in your favor.
Nickeil, does it surprise you how rare
where that mentality is in the NBA?
I mean, not really, because you have guys that are like coming from everyone here at some point in time was the guy. You know, whether they started with Cinderella story, eventually they became a guy. You know what I'm saying? And they got to this point. So I can understand why people maybe hold on to that ego, so to speak, just because they know who they are. They know what they're capable of. But it's just, Mike said this the other day, like, what got you here won't get you there. And it's just an understanding, like, so many great players and so many guys do the same thing. I feel like everyone with the right amount of time and the opportunity can score 20 points, but not everyone can do that and win. And I think at this point in time, it's just about, like, do you want to win? Do you want to, like, what's it to you? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're chasing stats and numbers, then maybe this isn't for you, you know? But if you're trying to become a great player, in my case, having to find a role, you got to understand what you got to do to get on the floor.
Nickeil, last question, guys. Last one.
How much does spontaneous movement off the ball get you open in the corner versus calling a set play?
I think it's a lot harder to study spontaneous movement just because, like, it's not a set play. You know, there's so many gray areas in basketball. Not every possession is going to be the exact same all the time. So I think, especially with set plays, teams have scouts for it. They know what they want to do. They know how they want to guard it. Me not being a guy who's getting it off of pick and rolls or feel or ISOs, I got to figure out ways for myself to be effective, and that's going to be reading drives, relocating, moving without the ball, stuff I learned as a kid, and just applying it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.